Yeah, hello viewers. I welcome you to my channel. And the name still remain Global Shuttle. And please, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, you like, you share, you comment. And today, have you heard about Assin Manso Slave River? Yeah, there is a very special tour site in Ghana that we call Assin Manso Slave River. Yeah, and Assin Manso was the final link in the slave routes, yeah, from the northern Ghana. Yeah, and it was known to have been the largest slave market for merchants supplying slaves to the fort and castle along the coast. And there's a coverage about this area, and I want you to follow me to this site. Yeah, so I cannot, I cannot, I mean, tell all the history about this place, and I hope this video will entails more. It will also explain better. So just follow me and let's tour this place, and I hope you love it. Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe.
Over here, they are very special because everything that's happened here, they know of it. Their great grandma, Mami Ekuya, was taken as a captive and she was brought to the camp to be auctioned out. But she was deemed not marketable. Nobody wanted to buy her. She was lucky. She wasn't killed instantly, but rather she was chained around a bamboo tree to perish. And the bamboo tree is a natural habitat of snakes. So when they chain you there and nobody comes for you, the snakes will have their way with you and you are no more. But this lady was lucky. She was saved by one farmer. So when they abolished the trade, because she didn't know how to return to where she was captured, she settled right here in this community. So these are the direct descendants of Mami Ekuya, and they've been here forever. But one of their descendants is now the queen mother of this community. Yeah, so that is why even when nobody was allowed to come here, for these people alone, they were always here because this is where they belong. So this is the importance of this family that you see right there.
So how many is in the family?
They've stayed here forever. Forever. Yes, and because of development, now they are trying to add bricks and certain things to that. Yeah.
So we have a seven.
We just have a minute to go to the river, and we're not going to do all the rituals, but at least we'll do some of the rituals if we have time. So as we walking, it shouldn't just be walking. No, don't worry. It shouldn't just be walking. But you should think about it, reflect. That is why you're here. I would ask a question, and I want a straight answer. Do you believe that we Africans have the best of ancestors?
Yes.
Do you believe in that?
Yes.
So if you do, why is it that you are making our ancestors to cry by eliminating them in whatever we do? That is the importance of us pouring libation. In libation, I always say things that they call Christianity. I would always argue that it started right from us. But they just change in to fit them. Because during the point of libation, we also acknowledge the Trinity. We acknowledge God. We acknowledge the Holy Spirit, which is the spirit around that made us survive all these atrocities. We acknowledge that, but we don't acknowledge Jesus Christ.
You repeat that?
We don't acknowledge Jesus Christ. But we acknowledge the Supreme Being, that is Jah. We acknowledge the Spirit which worked with us, which was with us through all this also, but we don't acknowledge Jesus Christ. The reason being that for us, we acknowledge our ancestors, not somebody we don't know. We acknowledge Jesus Christ. Wait, we acknowledge our ancestors, our great men, like the Queen Nanny, Sojourner Truth, Ariel Tubma, Yasantua. We acknowledge them because we believe that if I have led with you on this land, and if I don't have food to eat, I come to you. You give me some. If I don't have money to pay my school fees, you support me with it. Everything I need from you, you do it for me. And I was giving an illustration, and you are no more, and you are a good person. We believe that so far as you are a good person, you will be closer to Jah because you are a good person. So, what wrong will I make if I need something from God and asking through you? I would ask through you because I believe that for you, we've been together. You feel my pain. You understand me more because we are closer. So everything that I ask you, I believe that you're going to force Jah to do it for me because you are with me. So for us, we don't want the names of our ancestors to be clean. That is why they knew they don't have ancestors. They are thieves, they knew. And they knew we had a good man. So they wanted to do everything for us to stop mentioning the names of our good people and substitute it with just one person that we don't know where he's coming from, with Jesus Christ. So the more you start saying Jesus, then it's like you've started saying Sojourner Truth, Ariel Tubma, W. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington. You started mentioning their names. And if that happens, slowly we are killing the names of our ancestors. So whenever we pour libation, we pour it in honor of our ancestors, through them to the Almighty. So that is the importance of the pouring of libation. Now, this session that you see over here, is the auction site in the slave camp. This was where the sorting out takes place. The device putting in our map to counteract it and everything. This was where it all happened.
Oh, okay.
Now, the river you see over here. Yes, sir? The river that you see now is called the Assin. There are two separate rivers. They are not the same river.
Oh.
As you can see, during the rainy season, the river flows, comes all the way up here.
Oh, okay.
This is the mark, and you can't even get closer. But because we are experiencing lesser rainfall, that is why it is like this.
You don't want to take a man.
The one that is moving, the river that is flowing, is called River Emisa, which gets its source from the Pra River, the river that we were made to die. That was where this one is getting its source from.
What's it called?
River Emisa.
Anissa.
Yes. And we have this river also to be Nonko Insio. Nonko Insio. Nonko means slave. Insio means river. We were made to wash ourselves in the Nonko Insio, but not in River Emisa because they were scared that when they made us wash ourselves here, we might escape because it's moving.
Yeah.
So they made us wash ourselves in the stagnant one, still in chains and in shackles. So imagine if the river is up here and you put somebody down here to wash in chains and shackles, then that person will drown and you directly killing that person. So if that happens, if the river is up, they cut the bamboo tree, connect one here and connect the other one to the bamboo tree there, and they hang them on a chain so that they wash them with the same bamboo tree. They cut the same bamboo tree, split it open to look like a brush, and they use it to wash them whilst they are in the river. So after washing them, you find out that almost all of us have bruises all over our body with blood oozing out. So with all the blood oozing out, we become so weak and we can't even continue any longer. So they drag us from the river and our feet develop this footpath to where you are standing. So with all the blood and as weak as we are, they make us go through vigorous exercises in addition, just to determine our strength. Because it is believed that with all this blood and as weak as we are, for we to perform such an act, that makes us the strongest. So after that, they clean all the blood from us and they smear us with palm oil and shea butter just for us to shine.
What happened to the It makes the muscles stand out.
Those of us that couldn't make it, they were killed and were buried right in the bamboo cemetery. This is it. It's called the bamboo cemetery. This is where most of our brothers and sisters who were killed here were buried. So after that, they bring them here. When you look back, you see this podium. Right behind the podium was a huge baobab tree, which is no more. So they take them and chain us around the baobab tree for our auction.
Okay.
Our brothers and sisters were bought with things that are really not important. Things like used tobacco, guns, gunpowder. And I was reading a book on the transatlantic slave trade, which made a revelation that during that era, even animals were valuable as compared to you and I. Because one horse goes for 15 strong enslaved Africans. And that is why when you don't know where you are coming from, sometimes when things happen, you would see it as a new thing. But when you know your past, you know that everything that is happening now has its precedent from the past. You see, whenever you're coming from, you have all these laws that have been enacted to support the rights of animal. Animal rights, animal that, animal that, animal that. Why do you think we always campaign and say Black Lives Matters? Because they are doing the same thing to us in a different way. But because we are not conscious, we don't know where it's coming from. Now, after that, they take them to the next podium for the branding session. This is where they put a metal in fire for it to be very, very hot. Stab it at your back, your chest, or your shoulder as a source of identification. After that, those of them that were bought here in the camp will be made to march straight in chains and shackles to the castle, and the ones that were not bought here will be marched to the market to be auctioned out. Now, apart from rituals, this was what happened here in time memorial. In rituals, there is a lot of rituals that we, almost 7 rituals that we do here. The first ritual that we do here is we go to the river, but we don't pass through this ark. The reason why we don't pass through this ark, as you can see the description, is the last bath. So immediately you walk through it, then we are attesting to the fact that yes, indeed, it's our last bath. But it's never going to be our last bath because our ancestors have dipped their finger in it, and it's our turn to dip our finger in it. So we pass through and we go to the river and dip our finger in it as a symbol to tell the world, you can never eliminate us, you can never kill us. For us, I've dipped my finger in it, my children will come and dip their finger in it, my children, and the generation unborn will come and still dip their finger in it. The second rituals that we also do is to have a covenant with the river by touching the river and just saying to your ancestors with us. The reason why we are touching the river is, you see, you are walking barefooted. Do you know why, in addition, do you know why you're walking barefooted? You've come to the land, your land. You've surrounded yourself to the gods of your land. You've told them, I'm coming to your land, I'm coming to my land, and I need your protection because I'll be walking on that same path. So, bless me and protect me through all my journey. So the land now knows you. So the land is ready to protect you once you make your journey through this land. But what about the rivers? The rivers don't know you because you've never had a covenant with the river. So when you touch the river, then it means every river that you walked on, every sea that you traveled on, you are already protected because your ancestors have you at their back. After that, the third ritual that we do are for those people. Do you believe that now we have people with the same color, but they don't see themselves as African?
They call them black devils.
That is why Kwame Nkrumah said something. Kwame Nkrumah said, I'm not an African because I was born in Africa. But I'm an African because African is born in me.
Serious family, serious.
We have a lot of people who think before they are born in Africa, that is why they can be an African. So some people come and through all the tour, now they realize and appreciate who they are as African. So they have change of mind and they say, wow, I now believe myself as African. Those people, for them, we give them the full baptism. So that we take that bad side of them and embrace the future, the light. So for them, deep baptism, that is what we do for them. Now we realize that after everything, most of us become so bitter and emotional. But one thing that we should put in mind as Africans, whenever you become bitter, it is easy for you to be defeated.
Yes.
When you are bitter, you bring everything out because you are so bitter. But when you are a better person, it's very difficult for somebody to get into you because that person will never get things that he needed to get from you. So after our rituals, we realized people become so much emotional and wanted to do something. And we said, no, that is not how to fight.
No.
We have a better way to fight. So for
That's
that,
not strategic.
yes, for that, we crossed the river to this. Today the place is very wet. At the previous time, it's very, very dry. So we take them there at a round table discussion. We talk about ourselves. Everything that you've been through, somebody else has been through before. Every pain that you're going through, somebody has been there before. So the person, when you bring yours out and the person have this experience, we all share it together and teach ourselves how to make ourselves better. So the reason why we do that is we'll be going to this river to say our wishes on God. So before you say your wish to that river, you have to be like a baby with a clean heart. So after all the round table discussion and we come out, we realize all of us will be very, very clean in heart, very, very sober, very, very calm before we go to our ancestors and we ask them for our gifts. So those are some of the rituals. So after the gift, we come all the way back here again and then we embrace each other and congratulate ourselves for making this journey. So those are some of the rituals that we do when we visit this site. So you are the leader, you have the time. Is it favoring you? Can we do some?
Yes, we have time, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. So we are not going to do the roundtable discussion because the roundtable discussion you can do it in the bus. Yes, but we'll be doing the covenant, deepening and touching the river and after that we'll be going to the next river to say our wishes, and after that we'll be ending it here by congratulating ourselves for coming this far. So those of us who are African enough to perform such rituals, please, you can follow me. Let's do this.